Welcome back to another installment of Best 5. Join us on our journey as we take a look at the weird, wild and wonderful. Today we cover 5 American haunted houses and their creepy background stories. Built in the 1780s in Salem, Massachusetts, lies a huge brick mansion called Joshua Ward House. It stands on the site where the infamous sheriff, George Corwin, once lived. He became known as the Strangler after killing many women suspected of being witches during the Salem witch trials in the 1690s. He once crushed a man accused of witchcraft named Giles Corey by placing large stones on his chest in order to force a confession. Before the unfortunate Corey passed away from his torture, he cursed Corwin and every sheriff that followed after him. It's rumoured every sheriff since Corwin has either died while in office or been forced to resign due to ill health. Today, many of Corwin's victims, including Corey, are said to live in Joshua Ward House. This Californian home is famous for once being the residence of actress Jean Harlow and is where her lover Paul Byrne supposedly took his own life. Many creepy tales have been told about this place over the years. One family woman who later lived there described feeling an unseen presence and the words, "Please help me," being whispered. She told how the kitchen lights would often flicker on and off by themselves, and that she would often smell a strong scent of a woman's perfume in the children's bedroom. She told of how she would hear a woman sobbing uncontrollably and hearing knocks at the front door with no one there. The ghosts of Jean Harlow and Paul Byrne are said to still regularly roam the halls even today. In 1892, Lizzie Borden was accused of murdering her father and stepmother with an axe at their home in Fall River, Massachusetts. Today, the house where the murders took place is a B&B where guests can stay the night if they feel brave enough. The B&B's owner claims she occasionally hears floorboards creaking and also notices doors opening and closing on their own. Once she described how she awoke at 3 a.m. and peeked down into the hallway only to see a shadow making its way up the staircase. Today, guests can even stay in the rooms where the murder victims' bodies were found, and it draws paranormal enthusiasts from all across the United States. In June 1986, Alan and Carmen Snedeker moved into an old house in Southington, Connecticut, with their 4 children. The family discovered, much to their horror, that the house had been a former funeral parlour for decades. Their children had begun seeing strange ghosts walking around the house and reported many items going missing. Both parents had claimed they were sexually assaulted by demons. One time when Carmen was mopping the kitchen floor, the water turned blood red and began to smell of decaying flesh. The family contacted 2 ghost hunters who confirmed their story that the house was indeed infested with demons. Their story was the inspiration for the 2009 movie The Haunting in Connecticut. The LaLaurie House is perhaps one of New Orleans' most well-known haunted houses. The property was owned in the 1800s by a cruel woman called Delphine LaLaurie, and during her ownership of the property, many slaves working there had perished. There is horrifying tales of slaves who had their intestines removed and bodies found covered in honey and black ants used as a form of torture. Others regularly had their bones broken in order that they could not run away or escape their situation. Many of the sickening crimes were discovered after a fire at the mansion in 1834 alerted authorities. It's claimed they found slaves chained to the walls with their eyes gouged out and their fingernails pulled off at the roots. Many estimate that hundreds of people could have been tortured to death in the house, and to this day their restless souls are said to haunt the grounds. Phew, some of those places that give me the creeps. What about you? As always, if you like our content, then please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Until next time, this is Best 5, signing off.